Happy lunch hour, guys. So, y'all thought it was the week between Christmas and New Year's and it was going to be a slow week, right? Oh, are you kidding me? Things to pay attention to and prepare for, plan, get ready for. Y'all love how the cost of gasoline has gone up, the cost of electricity, fuel oil, whatever has gone up. I mean, not only in the United States, but obviously in Europe, anything like that. Well, prepare for it to get a lot worse. Gee, aren't I the bearer of good news? Remember when we were energy independent here in the United States last year? Okay, well, of course, that can't happen anymore in the United States. We have to be reliant on other countries for our oil, because, we might offend or, the green-horned cricket or whatever the hell it is. Who knows? All right. But, fracking, the pipeline, who knows? Joe's doing anything he can to sit there and send us back to the Stone Age. Well, y'all know me. I've said it many times, and for as long as I've ever been around, probably since it's been around, but I mean, been able to think about this stuff probably since I was about 15, I think. I've always been an isolationist. My theory has always been screw everybody else. We take care of ourselves first, every single thing, and then if there is anything extra, then we can send it to another country. Okay. I always laugh. We send food to Kenya while we have starving kids in Philadelphia. Or, as of right now, we're sending natural gas to Europe that was diverted from going to China, while fuel prices here are continuing to go up. That doesn't make sense to me. You take care of your own. It's just like anything else. Think of an SHTF situation. You're going to take care of your family before you're going to take care of any neighbor, friend, whatever it would be. Okay. It should be the same way with the country, but, we don't have intelligent people in Washington. Well, this is why I say prepare for oil to get oil prices to go up. Not that this should come as any surprise to you, but this is not being reported in the mainstream media as per normal. Okay, certainly wouldn't want to do anything that would be anti-Biden. Mexico announced today that it is going to suspend all oil exports in 2 years to focus on domestic self-sufficiency. Now, Mexico first policy. Gee, where have we heard something like that before? I don't know. Here's the catch, and people go, oh, big deal. It's Mexico. So what? Here's a little one that everybody might not know, especially after things like, I don't know, Iraq, the Gulf War, going into anything like that. Where does the U.S. get its oil? Who is the number one importer of oil to the United States? This might surprise you. Mexico. We get 10% of our oil from Mexico. 599,000 barrels per day is what the U.S. imports from Mexico. Want to guess who's number two? Bet you're wrong. Russia. We get 7% of our oil from Russia. Number three is Saudi Arabia at 7%, a little less than what Russia is. Okay, about 20,000 barrels a day less. Okay. So now, Mexico is the third largest North American oil exporter. It's real rough there. There's 3 countries, okay? The United States is first, Canada second, Mexico's third. Mexico exports its oil to North America and China, India, South Korea, and then Europe in that order. So this isn't going to affect Europe as much as it's going to affect the United States or China. Now, why does this cause a problem? Well, in 2 years, we're getting none. Mexico has said next year, 2022, they are going to cut exports by 50% to a total of 435,000 barrels a day. Mind you, right now, just the United States gets 599. Okay? Next year, the United States, Canada, South Korea, India, China, and Europe combined will get 435,000. Well, if we have less oil, supply and demand again. Now, how's that going to really affect you? Well, this is going to hit the Gulf Coast refiners extremely hard because it's going to cut off yet another source of heavy oil, just to be used in the United States. Remember, we used to get a whole lot of our heavy crude from Venezuela. But oh gee, all the sanctions that we put on Venezuela stopped that flow. So we got it from Mexico. Gas prices going up, gas prices going up, gas prices going up. This is where you get into an issue. This is why every one of Biden's policies is idiotic. Because now, if Mexico is no longer providing us with oil, the number one source of oil we will be getting oil from is Russia. Now put this into play with what's going on in Ukraine. Well, if anything happens in Ukraine, you can pretty much bet immediately the Russians are going to cut off the flow of oil to the United States. So now you've lost 10% of what we get from Mexico, which is a given at this point. Potential for another 7% from Russia, Saudi Arabia being next, and Colombia being fourth at 4%. So now we're going to get little pecks of here, oil. So we're going to get, 7% from Saudi Arabia and 4% from Colombia. And you're going to have ships going all over the place. Hey, can you see this 2 years from now? Biden on the phone, literally. Can you send us a ship of oil? We're a little short right now. That's literally where it's coming to. Our number one producer said number one supplier said they're not going to supply us anymore. Our number two supplier we're potentially on the cusp of some sort of conflict with, okay? And with the exception of Saudi Arabia, who, I think we all are a little skeptical of how that will come about. Then we're talking about Colombia and anywhere else we're going to get this stuff. Great. This is the problem that Biden has created, because it's not like you can go turn on Keystone again or turn on any of these other pipelines that he's shutting down. You can't just go flip a switch and fracking starts all over again. I mean, it takes time to get machinery, people, building the stuff, whatever it would be. Very, very, very quickly, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not talking about next week, okay, but next year, this is going to affect our fuel prices. Gee, we want to go to all electric vehicles. Do you think the administration cares about this? They're like, hey, great, no problem. We're getting away from fossil fuels anyway. Right. Because go take a look at how your electricity is generated. I don't know. Natural gas, oil, coal. Did a video yesterday on wood stoves. Wood, This is how your electricity is generated, and we're losing the fuel to generate it, guys. Be very, 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 very prepared for this, because when we start seeing European prices here because of this, don't say you weren't warned. Pinball out.